What's good, everybody? Welcome to What's Popping. If you're new here, please subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and let's get right into the video of the day. Now today, Rihanna, your fave, has been trending on social media because of some comments that she made, and these comments are ignorant to start off with, and I'm just gonna read to you guys what she said, and I'm gonna explain to you what she should have said instead. This is what Rihanna said. My heart is breaking with the violence I'm seeing displayed between Israel and Palestine. I can't bear to see it. Innocent Israeli and Palestinian children are hiding in bomb shelters. Over 48 lives lost in Gaza alone, at least 13 of whom were also innocent children. There needs to be some kind of resolve. We are sadly watching innocent people fall victim to notions perpetuated by government and extremists, and this cycle needs to be broken. So these comments that Rihanna made a lot of people angry on Twitter, and this is what some of these people had to say. One person said Rihanna went from using a hadith from the Quran in her Fenty show to now staying neutral in the Palestine versus trash conflict. So disappointed in her. Another person said Rihanna basically said all lives matter, like there isn't an occupation of Palestine and genocide going on. And another person said Rihanna could have kept that little statement to herself. In 2014, she was tweeting Free Palestine, and now she's talking about I stand with humanity. Now, I'm going to bring in someone who's going to explain to you guys why Rihanna's comments were ignored.
Hey everyone, so I'm a student of the social sciences, and I've really been looking into this matter, with Palestine and Israel. And just to comment on Rihanna's post, I think we can understand the outrage around it. It's a really sensitive topic. And the Palestinian people has been under oppression for over 60 years now. Also, they don't have the military power, they don't have the forces, and they also don't have the media support in terms of your news channels and your local news channels. So social media has really been the mobilizing force, I would say, in terms of protest, in terms of activism, and really just in terms of justice for the Palestinian people. I think I will return the quote of Rihanna with a quote of Bella Hadid. It really stood out to me. On the Instagram page, she posted, future generations will look back in disbelief and wonder how we allowed the Palestinian suffering to continue for so long. A human tragedy unfolding right in front of our eyes. Politicians stutter neutral words in fear of being reprimanded, whilst the world remains silent to avoid offending the wrong people. History has taught us to speak up. You are either on the right side or you are not. It's that simple. And I think that really hits it at the core, because what Rihanna she speaks about between, she speaks about between Israel and Palestine, and that's a misconception within itself. There is no between Israel and Palestine. It's an Israeli oppression on the Palestinian people, and so you clearly have to pick a side in this case, because it's a humanitarian crisis. When innocent women and children are being killed, all else leaves the structure. It's no longer anymore about religion. It's no more about land. It's simply about now humanity and about dignity and the human rights. And human rights are being violated, and you have to pick a side. And if you want to be on the right side of history, you'll pick the side of the Palestinians. Now you can call that biased. Listening from my perspective, you can say, I'm completely biased in my approach, but I would urge you to do your own research. And I would urge you to look into the history of Palestine and the history of Israel, and read the books of both the Islamic religion, so the Quran, as well as the Torah, the book of the Jews. And really and try and get hold of the original scripture of the book of the Jews, because we know over time that these scriptures has been changed. And so really in that dialect you can really dissect in terms of the history, and really trying to understand a broader perspective as to what is happening in Palestine. But further on from that, I mean, just to do your own research, read up on the internet. There is so much information available, and really filter through it. Filter through it and try to have an unbiased approach while reading it. And you'll really see that what is happening in Palestine is clearly an oppression. And again, to emphasize that it's not a war between Palestine and Israel, but a humanitarian oppression that is taking place on the Palestinian people from the Israeli forces, who is backed up by other stronger forces. And so my heart is with Palestine, and that is where I stand. And the real question is now, where do you stand listening to this? And are you on the right side of history? Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for that, and I hope that gave you a little bit more insight as to what's going on in the Palestines. So I just want to end off with this post from Bella Hadid, and this is what she posted on her Instagram. One cannot advocate for racial equality, LGBT and women's rights, condemn corrupt and abusive regimes and other injustices, yet choose to ignore the Palestinian oppression. It does not add up. You cannot pick and choose whose human rights matter more. So I hope that will help you decide as to what side you're on. And that's it for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and this is one of my favorite videos ever, and I hope you guys got a little bit more insight on what's really happening. And thank you very much for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in future videos, and hopefully we can get more insight from different people. And yeah, so see you in my next video, guys. Bye.